Oi oi lads, Crypto here, and today we have ourselves a bit of a sequel. But first of all, how rude of me. How are you all doing? I heard you had that little picnic recently. How did that go, G? Anything good? Kinda mad you didn't invite me if I'm being honest, but you know what? Fuck you, I don't care about your picnic. Let's just carry on with the video, man. God damn it. Like I said, this video is a sequel, and that's because it's a follow-up to my original Borderlands 3 DLC ranking, except today we'll be ranking the DLCs in every game. Also, I want to point out that this video is up before the Director's Cut DLC launches, so I'll make sure to update the ranking of the DLCs in a pinned comment once that drops. Yeah, I forgot to do that too. So yeah, yo, I think this is going to be a pretty long and interesting one. I'm excited to see how many people get pissed over one thing I have to say about a certain DLC. As always, here's a little question for you. What is your favorite DLC from each game? Make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. I also just want to say that there's not that many bad DLCs, except a few exceptions, so don't worry, if your favorite DLC ends up being last on the list, it doesn't mean it's arse. Well, okay, yeah, it does. Little spoiler there. But anyway, let's get into the ranking. Oh wait. Sorry to blue ball you. I should just clarify that by DLC I mean main story expansions, not headhunters and stuff like that. But anyways, let's get into the ranking.
The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell.
Okay, let's be honest here, I am formally required to inform you that this is just annoying as shit. Dude, if you're playing Mordecai, who is the slowest character in the game and has no speed bonuses at all, have fun when these rude assholes puke on you. The Zombie Island of Dr. Ned is a story expansion pack with an average story at best, annoying gameplay mechanics, little reward, and just serves as an early game XP farm. Though I will say, this DLC does have some positive aspects. I was definitely a huge fan of the aesthetic and overall design of maps in general. Also, the side quests were pretty simple but fun to do. I also thought the whole Dr. Ned thing they had going on was pretty funny and done pretty well. But that doesn't excuse the piss poor boss fight, okay? Listen, I don't know if this dude was on his Lego Ninjago shit or something like that, but he needs to calm down.
Hi-ho the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell.
Oh, people are about to lose it with this one. Okay, listen, I'm not a big fan of the Underdome either, alright? But you can't tell me this wasn't a good idea for a DLC. Adding modifiers into the already existing concept of arenas was pretty creative, just not executed too well. And that's the main real issue with this DLC. Everything laid out sounded good on paper, but much like the Guardian takedown, it wasn't executed too well. Okay, quick summary. Overall, I think the Underdome would have been much more successful if they didn't drag out the waves and rounds in each arena. But I do think the Underdome is often fun to just jump into and kill things in to test builds and stuff like that, since in my opinion Borderlands 1 didn't really have much good mobbing maps. And it really didn't help that the Circle of Slaughters weren't replayable. Though, to be fair, all those issues aside, this DLC did bring us one of the best vendor farms in the game. This type of DLC would be a Borderlands 3 player's wet dream if they did it right. And let's face it, it's better than the Zombie Island DLC.
The farmer takes a wife, the farmer takes a wife.
Right, now we enter the good motherfucking shit. Claptrap's New Robot Revolution was the first real piece of content involving heavy comedy in the Borderlands franchise, and they executed it pretty damn well. And believe it or not, I actually believe that if this DLC didn't exist, we'd still be stuck in the serious world of Borderlands. First off, let's get the obvious out the way. This DLC introduced the gift shop armory, which to this day is one of the core and most fun farms Borderlands 1 has to offer. All you have to do is finish the DLC story and boom! Look at that, you have yourself an infinite amount of chests to farm. Secondly, this DLC gave us some of the best enemies we've ever fought in the entire franchise. Fighting off bosses like Minyak, Commodore Steel, and the returning lovable General Knox made me pop, but to top it off, we got fantastic enemies like a wave of claptraps with boxing gloves. Now you can get your revenge on this Nesquik cereal packaging looking motherfucker for giving you PTSD to this quote which originated from hell. I do have some complaints with this DLC though. For example, the maps were pretty lackluster and too big when they really didn't need to be, but it's nothing too major. Something to compensate for that issue are the hidden chests, because oh boy there's a lot of them and they're hidden extremely well. Whenever I happen to find a chest in the area, my body begins levitating, man. My IQ makes my soul expand from my body. And I also found it a bit weird how the Nox DLC had a raid boss and an all new rarity, but the Robolution didn't bring either of those back despite dropping after the Nox DLC. It's just something I find strange, and actually, speaking of the Nox DLC, Jesus Christ, I must have said DLC at least 1,000,000 times so far. You know what? Do a push-up every time the word is mentioned and you will probably get your wife's attention again.
Hi-ho the dairy-o, the farmer takes a wife.
Positives: General Nox, Ajax Ogre, other nice hybrids, easy early XP farm, fun side quests, new types of chests, lessons, a fun campaign, and the first raid boss. Negatives: driving. Yeah, there's a lot of driving, and even more driving. Yeah. Driving. Did I mention this DLC has driving? Yeah, this DLC is almost perfect when it comes to content. It did everything an expansion should do. Hell, the secret armory of General Nox is the one that started something we all love, that being raid bosses. If this DLC didn't exist, we might have never seen fan favourites such as Hyperius, Wotan, and Vermivorous. So yeah, this DLC is driving.
The wife takes the child, the wife takes the child. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the wife takes the child.
On to Borderlands 2 we go, and taking the 5th place is Sir Hammerlock's Big Cunt. Alright, I'll be nice, Nakayama carried this DLC. I really don't have any good things to say about it. It's just a broken mess. That's it. Wow.
The child takes the nurse, the child takes the nurse. Hi-ho the dairy-o, the child takes the nurse.
Mr. Torg's Campaign of Carnage, this is an experience. I personally find this DLC great, with lots of cool new ideas and a tad bit of misses, but still, don't let the number 4 spot deceive you. The story was pretty damn fun, with lots of funny dialogue being screamed at you every second by Mr. Torg, and the whole piston as a cheater thing they had going on was definitely interesting. Though I do think the pacing feels a bit off, or is that just me? It's not, is it? I also think the motor armor section of this DLC didn't need to exist at all, and actually, speaking of, did you know she was originally meant to be the raid boss of this DLC? Yeah, thank fuck that didn't happen. Instead, we got an upgraded version of a story boss, Pyro Pete the Invincible. Now I know a lot of people didn't like it that they reused the boss, but to be honest, I'm perfectly fine with it personally. A, I liked Pete as a character, and B, they added new challenging mechanics to the fight. What this DLC also did well is add Torg exclusive vendors which take a new currency and can sell you some sweet new legendary Torg loot. It's a very awesome little thing which really helps this DLC scream Torg. I think the biggest complaint I have about this DLC is the vault at the end. What the fuck is this?
The nurse takes the dog, the nurse takes the dog.
Captain Scarlet and a pirate's boot, is a near perfect DLC. I love so many aspects of it so much. I love how it was so obvious and even told to you at the start that Captain Scarlet was going to betray you and screw you over, but the writing was so good and the blatant sarcasm was done so well to the point where it's just great. We also had 2 raid bosses, Hyperius and Shit the Invincible.
Hi-ho the dairy-o, the nurse takes the dog.
Just butt stallion, innit?
The dog takes the cat.
Commander Lilith and the fight for Sanctuary. God, you remember the hype for this? It was real. Unpopular opinion, I would have loved to see Hector return as the villain for BL3. The writing of the DLC was incredibly good, portraying the difficult experience our Vault Hunters had to go through after the events of the future sections of the pre-sequel. The new enemies are pretty damn creative and, they look familiar. This DLC introduced us to some new mega farms such as Uranus, the recompense glitch on Hadarax, the guaranteed launcher farm, the Brothers in Arms grave farm, the loot midget farm, the recently discovered tubby farm, and there's a bit more. We also got introduced to a new rarity known as Effervescent, which kinda sucks except for a few exceptions, but it gets bonus points for being so fucking cool. And the side quests were very fun. This DLC also told us what happens to Dr. Zed and why he isn't in Borderlands 3, so you can stop asking now. He went to medical school, okay? Shut up. I know, Borderlands the pre-sequel has a ton of great DLCs to pick from, but I made the very difficult decision to pick the Claptastic Voyage. This choice was just so hard to make. This, spoiler alert, is actually my favourite DLC in any Borderlands game, and this is actually a popular opinion, believe it or not. No jokes aside, for it being the only pre-sequel DLC, they fucking nailed this shit. Story-wise, despite Shadow Trap being a Claptrap unit, him having a completely opposite personality to the Claptrap we know and love added a perfect chemistry between the two, and god was it entertaining. Oh, before I forget, these pop-up ads made the DLC 100 times better. Thank you so much for this little nice touch. We also got introduced to the glitch rarity, which was pretty fucking cool. Basically, you could roll like these random glitches on your gun and they could have some random really cool effects. It was pretty damn cool. I also really liked how they brought back Mr. Blake in another Claptrap themed DLC. That was a very nice touch. We had some very cool new Easter eggs, an amazing boss to fight, and of course, the pickle gun. Oh, but Crypto, it appears you have forgotten the Holodome. Don't bring that name up ever again. If I wanted cock and ball torture, I'd steal someone's car battery and inject it into my balls, man.
The dog takes the cat.
Okay, since I've already made a video on the Borderlands 3 DLCs exclusively and my thoughts really haven't changed, I won't waste too much time and I'll just say the order of the DLCs. If you want to see a full explanation on why each DLC is where it is, a link to that video will be in the description down below. But yeah, so in number 6 we have Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Fustercluck. In number 5 we have Guns, Love and Tentacles. In numero 3 we have Arms Race. In Dos, god I feel like Mr. Worldwide. In Dos we have Bounty of Blood, and finally at number 1 we have a Director's Cut. And that's because of a useless fucking raid boss you can fight at the end, but I still enjoy it because I'm a fucking Sigma male who will suck on any piece of endgame content out there. So yeah, that's it. That's the ranking. Once again, make sure to let me know your favourite DLCs from each game in the comment section down below. And now, I hate to do this, I really do. I hate leaving you on your own, son. I wish I could stick around forever, you know, keep you company. But it's time for the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe as it really does help me out a lot. I make content all things Borderlands and Wonderlands, so it might just be worth sticking around. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay classy. Peace.